I'm making chicken French and I want to show you how I do it. So I've got 4 chicken breasts that are pounded out, and I've got flour, and I've got egg, and I've got my pan over here with oil and butter, olive oil and butter, about 2 tablespoons. So the first thing I want to do is, so I took these breasts, I cut them open, I used my mallet and pounded them out, and now I'm just going to season them, salt, and I season everything. Season the flour, season the eggs, and there's 3 reasons I like to pound it out. Number 1, it's in the oil less. Number 2, because they're all the same thickness and they're pounded out, they'll be in that hot oil less time. Number 2 is they will cook the same because they're the same thickness. And number 3, when you pound them out, they get a little bit more tender. So, I wanted to show you what I'm doing here. All right, let's get started. All the chicken is seasoned. I start with the flour. And I started using these little pie tins because it's easier when you're doing your, when you're dredging. Just seemed to work out better. So just a little tip there. So flour, egg, frying pan. This one does not have breadcrumbs. These will cook up pretty quick. Just when they're almost done, I'll pull them out and I'll make the sauce. This is a really wonderful dish because it's kind of lemony. And we put a little chicken broth in there. We put a little wine, white wine in to reduce it. And finish it off with lemons. It's amazing. So, I'll get a couple going here. So there it is, flour, egg, oil. They're only going to take a couple minutes on each side. When I get to the next step, I'll be right back. I am just taking the last piece of chicken out of the oil, so I got that turned down. Look at that, that's what you're looking for, is this beautiful golden. It's still a very touch pink in the center, but that's okay because we're going to finish it off. Now I want to make the sauce. This has just a little bit too much oil in it for me. So I want to show you a trick. I want the flavor, but I don't want so much oil. Take paper towel and tongs. Tip your pan sideways and dip that in there to soak up the oil, which is great. That leaves me just enough on the bottom, which is just what I want. So I'm gonna get rid of that. Now what I want to do is make a sauce here. So I've got some wine somewhere. Here it is. Just about 1/3 cup of wine. And I always pour it over something when it goes in. Yeah, that pan is really hot. I want this to reduce down by half. And that's going to happen really quickly. Then I'm going to add some chicken broth in here. That's going to become our little sauce. Oh, it's reducing nice. So you can see it reduce, and also when you can't smell the wine anymore, you know, you can put your broth in. That was about 1/3 cup of white wine, and now I've got 1/2 cup of chicken broth. I want that to come up to temperature and come together and kind of reduce down. Now what I'm gonna do is listen to that, nice grammar, right? Gonna squeeze some lemon juice in here. And while I have the lemon, I'm gonna squeeze it over the chicken that's over here, that's warm. Like I said, I'm gonna let that come up to temperature. And I want to put salt, pepper, garlic powder in here. This one I know you're gonna ask, but there is no garlic in here. But I'm gonna put garlic powder, salt, and this is kind of a thin sauce, but I would like to thicken it up. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take the flour that I had, a pat of butter, and just roll it into the flour. That's gonna be all you need to thicken this up. And also what the butter does, the butter is gonna make it nice and glossy. So you get this silky sauce. I've got a couple rings of lemon already cut. I'm gonna float that in here, let that cook together. As soon as this becomes a thicker sauce, then I'm gonna put the chicken back in and I'll show you how we're gonna serve it. Meanwhile, I'm gonna find some fresh parsley to throw in here as well. I'll be right back. This is thickening up really nice. We don't want a super thick sauce. We still want a little bit thin. Got some fresh parsley. I'm gonna throw that in here. And now it's time to put the chicken back in. We're gonna warm this all up and I'll show you how all of this comes together. But look at how beautiful this is. So put that chicken in there. We'll get the sauce on it. Chicken is still warm, but I want it to come together right in here so much. I tasted the sauce. Tasted great. I did add some salt and pepper, and I didn't need to add any more garlic powder. This is looking so beautiful, you guys. Okay, when I plate this, I kind of like to just shingle it, and all that means is you're gonna let it go on top of each other. So I put my prettiest pieces there. I'm gonna just do 3. I like the lemons on there. More of this gorgeous sauce. That's it, there you have it. Chicken Francese, chicken French. But again, this is derived from the veal Francese recipe, and it was developed by a chef in Rochester, New York, and then brought to New York City where it became more famous. Look at that. I hope you're gonna try this. Take care.